just some housekeeping to begin with. We're going to be recording this session so that we can post it on our social medias afterwards for anyone who's missed it. I'm also being helped by the lovely Ed and the lovely Grania in the background. So they'll be helping, giving technical support. If you have any questions, you can type them into the chat and I'll hopefully get to all of your questions. So we're going to start off with a presentation, just running through how to enter the competition. So if we could start that, Ed, that would be great. So the Relove Fashion Competition, we're running it again this year and we're delighted to be hosting it basically because it's all about encouraging you guys to explore different skills and techniques for reusing and repurposing clothing that already exist in the world. So one of the main things is that you're not buying anything new to take part in the competition, that you're using clothes that are unwanted from your own home or else from a charity shop. And the main idea is that you're creating something that's wearable. So it's not just for this competition, you'll actually wear it again after the competition. And you can look at the website to find out all of the information you need after this session, so relovefashion.ie. We're really delighted to be funded by the local authorities. So if you want to move on to the next slide there, we'll just skip through. So if you're from a secondary school in any of these local authority areas or county councils, you are eligible to take part in the competition. And we're hoping to get as many entries as possible this year. There's two stages to the entry process. So the first one is to register your interest. And we have a brilliant competition running that if you register your interest before the 30th of September, you will be in with a chance to win a sewing machine for your school. So there'll be a raffle. The name will be picked out of a hat. So if you haven't registered yet, please do, and you'll be in with a chance to win this sewing machine. It's worth €500, so it's a really high spec sewing machine. If you want to move on there, Ed, thank you. So the first thing I wanted to look at is the timeline. So at the moment, the registrations are open and the submissions are open. The actual submission deadline with your completed applications and your completed outfits is the 13th of January. So there's a good bit of time, but we're trying to get people registered and kind of involved in the competition at an early stage to give you enough time to complete the whole application. So the deadline is the 13th of January, and we've made this the deadline so as you have enough time to complete the whole application process, because it involves creating an outfit. It involves creating a storyboard to document your process. And I'll go through this a little bit more in the next few slides. A few kind of dates before the submission deadline. So we're hosting this information session, obviously. And then the deadline for the sewing machine raffle is the 30th of September. We'll be hosting another inspiration session on the 14th of October. So we'll be sending the details around to you all about that. Then once you've submitted your entries, there will be a kind of shortlisting process that will take place in January and February, and who will be shortlisting people to take part in the interviews. And from the interviews, we'll be again shortlisting the finalists from that through that process. The grand final will be in March 2023, and around the final, it's a really good way for you to showcase your creativity, and first to showcase your creativity, because we hold an exhibition. So we curate all of the outfits and we put them all on mannequins, and we hold an exhibition here in the Rediscovery Centre. And it's really impressive to see all of the entries all together. And just what I really love about it is that they're all so unique, and everyone gets to express their own style through their creations, which is a really brilliant thing about when you're repurposing or using your creativity to make something for yourself, you really get to kind of explore and express your own style, and create something unique. So it's really kind of, the whole competition is really an opportunity for you guys to do that, to give you a platform and a focus to do that. Is there, sorry, I just have to look at the chat here. The inspiration. So it's just a question there about the inspiration session. So that this is more an information about how to enter the competition and what it's about. So the inspiration session will be looking at techniques that you can use to create your outfits and to help you kind of explore different techniques. Really, that's kind of it. So yeah, hope that answers your question. So the applications then. So I just wanted to run through a little bit of how to enter. As I said, the first step is to register your interest. And that's a really important thing to do, not only because you might be in for a chance to win a sewing machine, but also we will be sending out regular updates and communications and emails to all of the people that we have registered. So it's important to kind of keep up to date with the competition. The second phase then is obviously the submission. And the submission is involves, as I said, creating an outfit, and kind of not just creating it, but also documenting the process. So this is done through your storyboard. And also there's as part of the submission, there's a form that with various questions that we need you to fill out. And these are the questions that are up on the screen at the moment. These are all in the website, or on different pages in the website. So you can look at them and be kind of thinking about them before you actually submit your outfit. Just to talk a little bit about the storyboard, because it's important to have it in mind from the very beginning, because one really important thing is that you have before and after photographs of whatever materials or fabrics or clothing you actually started from and how it ended up. So the storyboard is basically telling the story of your outfit, where it began, what processes it went through to become the end piece. And this is really for the judges to kind of understand and have an idea of, what you've learned and where your inspiration came from. So if you think about it like that, there's a little bit of, it's not just a mood board is basically the kind of the important piece to take here. There is a little bit where we want you to show where you got your inspiration from, but it's more than that. It's kind of documenting the process as you go along. So it's important to have this in mind so that you can be taking photographs as you're working. So then there's the submission form, which includes these questions. And we really like to, again, it's about you guys showing us how the judges, because I'm one of the judges, what you've learned from taking part in the competition. So there is actually this year an extra category for best research, because it's really important for us that you're actually learning about sustainable fashion and about the fashion industry and the impacts that it's having on the environment, as well as using your creativity to create yourself a beautiful outfit. So we're really interested in you looking at the clothing or the fabrics that you're using to create your outfit and trying to find out what fabric, what materials it's made from, what it consists of. So if it's like 100% polyester, if it's a mixture of viscose and cotton or nylon. So we want you to be looking at the labels to kind of find out that, and then doing a bit of research about each of those fabrics and the production methods, etc. So at the end, we have our questions, and we then have please answer in as much detail as possible. And that is really what we want you to do. We want you to really do a good piece of research into the fabrics and into the fashion industry. There's also a question there about what was the inspiration for your piece. So we really want to hear this. And your views then on the fashion industry and what needs to happen to kind of make it more sustainable, make it more of a circular fashion industry. The last two questions in the submission form are about the video and the storyboard. And just to say, the video again is not, it's an informal video. It's not kind of something that you need to put a lot of detail into the production of or the presentation of. It again, without us being able to see, the judges being able to see the actual physical outfit, it's more about giving us an idea of, you know, what kind of work went into creating the hems or where you cut something. Sorry, there's just a question there. Okay. One question. Okay, two questions. So someone is wondering, can this project be done in groups? Absolutely. It can be done by an individual or it can be done in groups. That is entirely up to you to figure out. I think we've had groups of up to 6 or 7 before, and it's about you and how many people you think can manage to create an outfit. It can be a bit more challenging the more people that are in a group, because there's that many more ideas to kind of try and combine and kind of channel into one outfit. But it's absolutely up to you. Individuals, groups, all are welcome. And then there's just one more question here. Will we be sending links to the inspiration session? We will be, absolutely. Again, we will be sending this through the local authorities, and once you've registered, we will be communicating every update to the people who have registered for the competition. So if you don't want to miss anything, you really need to register your interest as quickly as possible. So yeah, just back to the video and the storyboard. So the video, we have an example just to show you. It's kind of the kind of thing. In this example, it was one of the finalists from last year's, and she gave us permission to use this for the information session. So we're just going to go on to that now. And
hi, I'm Elizabeth Cooper and I'm 13 years old, and this is my entry to the Relove fashion competition. I got the inspiration for this dress from my granny because I found this pattern in one of her boxes when I was looking for things. So this is my mini skater dress. I got the inspiration from my granny because I've always loved sewing and she sewed as well, and I love skateboarding. And I got the shirts from my mom, my dad and a charity shop. So I had leftover material and I didn't want to waste it all because I wanted to use as much as possible. So I made a patchwork belt out of it, and I also made a patchwork handbag out of it, and I also used a bit of the tag left on the shirt because it'll show a bit of personality from the shirt. So for this embroidery, I actually was at my nana's and I borrowed her machine to do this lovely embroidery because she's very nice stitches on her machine. So I used her machine to do all this lovely embroidery, and the rest of the embroidery that you see is all from my machine that I have at home. So I decided to match the stitching on the pocket to the stitching on the sleeve, just to match it all together. And also I decided to match a couple more embroideries, so I decided to match the bottom embroidery of the dress with the embroidery on my patchwork belt and also around the neck of the dress. And because of COVID, of course I had to make a mask to stay protected, so this was made out of one of the old shirts because of course I did have a bit of extra material. I decided to use the front of the old shirt as the back of my dress instead of trying to install a zipper, and they were also plain black buttons which were a bit boring, so I decided to find some old buttons in my nana's button box and I sewed them on.
As an example of what a video could look like. There's a few different types, so not everyone actually, showed themselves in it. Some of them were just the close-ups of the actual outfit. So don't feel, if you're not comfortable in front of a camera, don't feel like you absolutely need to do that. Other videos had the clothes, the outfit actually on a person, and they were another member of the team was explaining it and going through it. So the idea is that you're giving us a kind of close-up of the actual features of the outfit and any techniques that you've used and a little bit. It just gives us a better idea, but it's not a formal video, so we don't want you to worry too much about that part of it. It's not going to be shown without your permission anywhere. So yeah, just not to worry too much about it. The storyboard then, as I was saying earlier, it is something we would hope that we'd be able to read the story of your outfit from the storyboard. So from the beginning, through the inspiration, through the processes and techniques you use to create it, to the final piece. And so there is a little bit of mood board in it, but it's not just a mood board. And it can be done on a physical board, and then just you can take a picture of that. But if you have any text on it, it's important to actually take a closer up photograph of that and include that so we were able to read it. And also it can be created in an electronic format. So we have an example of that. It's a good example. Again, it's from one of the finalists, actually one of the winners last year, Elaine Murphy. So if we could go to that, yeah. This is really good content and really gives us the story of the outfit. So this is her mood board. So you can just click through. And this is her outfit. So this is very in depth now, I have to say. We wouldn't be expecting all of that, but it's just good to give an example of it. So this is the before. And this is the after. So that's really impressive kind of transformation. Elaine's outfit actually won the best casual outfit in last year's competition. And what was really good about this storyboard was that it really told us the whole journey of the outfit. So that's why I've kind of included it here. So you can keep on clicking through, actually, just to give you an idea. I suppose one of the benefits of doing it in a digital format is that you can include a lot more on it than you can on just a kind of A3 board. So click on through, yeah. This is extremely in-depth. You can, yeah, click onto. This bag is amazing. It was one of our favorite pieces. Okay, thank you. That's that part. So again, if you have any questions, you can direct them to info@Rediscovery Centre. The contact is on our website, as well on the Relove Fashion website. So if you have any further questions, you can, like during the process, you can just fire an email to info@rediscoverycentre.ie. What else did we want to talk about? Okay, so is there any? Yes, one thing to mention about the inspiration session, just because there was a few questions about it, I forgot to mention that. We'll have an amazing sustainable designer, Aisling Duffy, will actually be taking part in the inspiration session as well. So if you want to check her out, we're going to put her website into the chat, and you can take it down from there. So that's I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be really exciting. Obviously, I have a few tips I can share as well, but having someone else's input, she's a really kind of cutting edge sustainable designer, and sustainability is her main focus as well. So it's really interesting to see someone who's actually, you know, really fully implementing sustainable design in their creations. So the next part of the presentation was just to have a look at the winners from last year. So if we could go back to the presentation, Ed, that would be great. Maybe not. So the next slide would be great. Thank you. So for the winners, we have, last year we had 4 category winners and 1 overall winner. So the categories are in the next slide. That was just a little picture of our lovely trophies that the winners got. So the prizes, all entries selected to participate in the finals. So all finalists will receive a sustainable fashion workshop for their class or school group. And all category winners win a trophy and a winner's certificate. And the overall winner will win a prize of €700 towards equipment for their school and a day of sustainable fashion mentoring with myself. So the categories are best evening, best casual, best tailoring, most innovative. And this year we've also added a category for best research. And then we have our overall winner. And just to give you a little bit about the judging, so the outfits or the entries are judged on style and creativity, on their wearability, and this is a big focus of this competition. So that it is a wearable outfit, and it's not just created for this once-off event, because that would be going against the whole idea of circular fashion and reuse and repurposing. So wearability is a big thing. You're judged also on the sourcing of your outfit or materials. So as I mentioned before, one of the rules is that nothing new can be bought to create your outfit. So everything has to be reused or repurposed. You're also judged on your skills used, on the storyboard. You're judged on the research that you've done. And you're judged on your innovation and also on your views on making fashion more sustainable. So you can see we're just going to flick through then the last year's winners in the different categories. And I'll just talk a little bit about them, because the different categories, particularly the fact that there's a best tailoring and there's a best casual and a best evening. So it's to be inclusive. So you don't have to have brilliant sewing skills to take part in the competition. If you have brilliant sewing skills, you're going to be heading towards the best tailoring prize possibly. But where, there's you get judged on your creativity and style, you get judged on your innovation. So don't be put off if you're just beginning to learn how to sew. Lots of the finalists last year actually had undertaken to learn new skills for the competition for the first time, and it was really quite amazing what they had actually achieved. And so that's one of the things that we're hoping to encourage through running the competition, is that actual people will take up new skills and learn how to knit or learn how to crochet or learn how to sew even. Some people had just learned how to sew for the competition. So yeah, just to, don't be put off if you don't think you have amazing tailoring skills. That's not the only thing we're looking for. So this is last year's best casual. So the storyboard that you saw was about this outfit, Elaine Murphy's from Merrifield College. And we just loved kind of everything about this. There was really nice applique with the stars onto the jeans. She'd also reworked actually the shape of the jeans themselves by inserting panels into the inside leg. So a lot of work had gone into it. And we look at the next one is Best Evening. This was a really nice outfit because actually the long skirt that you see was actually removable. So it actually turned into just a short mini dress. So it could be worn like just out for a night, or it could be worn as this more formal kind of gown almost. And it had beautiful stars and constellations embroidered onto it. And that was one of the things actually that they had, some of the group, you can see this one was created by a group of 5. So some of them had just learned how to embroider for this project. And it was really beautiful. So that won the Best Evening. The Best Tailoring, this was really impressive. The bucket hat was particularly amazing, as well as the bag. So a lot of people will create a whole outfit, including accessories, because that's a really good way to kind of, if you're basing your outfit on a few different items of clothing, for instance, the accessories really gives you a chance to use up all of those extra bits and have fun, basically kind of seeing what you can make with them. So that's the Best Tailoring. Most Innovative. This one was really interesting because they actually harvested the wool from old jumpers and cardigans and remade it. So the skirt was crocheted, but the wool was harvested from an old cardigan. Likewise the top as well, and they created the flowers from little scraps of wool as well. So that was really innovative way to source their fabrics and their materials for the outfit, and it looks amazing. And this was the overall winner, and she had kind of a little bit of everything. So that's kind of what the overall winner will have. So she was very innovative in that she used, the skirt was made from an old wardrobe, and it was dyed with turmeric. Sorry, an old wardrobe covering, not an old wardrobe. She included 2 bags, one was for night and one was for day, as well as 2 pairs of shoes, customized shoes. Again, one for day and one for night. She also had a headpiece and it's hard to see in this photograph, but if you want to have a closer look, you can look on the website as well. She had used up all of the scraps of the jeans that she used to create the top, and made little flowers from them that she had then sewn onto her bag. So there's a huge amount of work in this, and kind of like a very kind of comprehensive look to the whole outfit. Everything was kind of coordinated very nicely. So, and also her research and her storyboard were also really impressive. So that kind of all goes towards whether or not you're going to be the overall winner or not. So yeah, that's kind of that part of the information session. If there's any questions, you could pop them into the chat, or if you felt like turning on your microphone, feel free to as well. Okay. Good. Okay. So what I want to go on to now is tips and tricks. So a lot of this you'll get more of in the inspiration session. But I guess a good place to start from is where will you get your inspiration from? And this can come from different avenues. Basically, you can have seen something, an outfit that you really like and you want to try your hand at creating. So that would be kind of inspiration from a mood board, or you can decide, actually from now on, I'm going to just collect images of everything that I like and put them all together and have a look at them and see what elements of each outfit you want to try and recreate, and see what kind of outfit will come from mixing all of those bits together. Another thing that you can do is actually decide that you want to create your outfit from a particular item of clothing or a particular group of items of clothing, or maybe an old curtain that you like the fabric of, so you can then your kind of creative process will be slightly different. You'll be looking at what you have and seeing what you can make from what you have. So that's more of an organic kind of process, which will develop as you go. And that's actually a good tip as well, is to be open to the design process and be open to, things not going exactly as you would like them to. Maybe embracing your mistakes and kind of, there's a very good phrase called, it's a design feature, which can be used to describe the most kind of conspicuous mistakes. There's just one question here. Are you allowed to buy clothes from a charity shop? Yes, you are. Yeah. As long as it has been pre-loved and you are repurposing and reusing it, then that's in line with the rules. Yeah. So buying from charity shops is absolutely fine. And you can find some brilliant things, like even, it might be an old skirt, or it might be a tablecloth, or a duvet, but actually the fabric of it is really interesting to you. And there's different ways that you can repurpose clothing. So you can actually like take it apart, deconstruct it, and use the fabric as a kind of length of fabric. So it's particularly good if you have a skirt, or anything with a lot of fabric in it, or you can just alter the shape of something. So maybe you find a dress that you like the fabric of, but you don't like the shape of the top. Behind me, I have all of these amazing kind of creations, and they all have a different kind of idea behind them. So I was just going to like refer to them a little bit. So this one here is a shirt that has been repurposed, reimagined. So a really interesting thing you can do is use elements of the clothing that you're repurposing. So for example, here is the collar, and it's now the sleeve. So you can use the finished elements as part of your outfit, because when I say finished elements, I mean things like the collar, or also the cuffs. Sorry, excuse me. We get this lady in here. So the cuffs, so that's a shirt cuff that's been added to the sleeve of a t-shirt to change the look of the t-shirt. Can you see that? Yeah. This is a shawl that's been made from t-shirt fabric. So the t-shirt yarn has been crocheted to create this beautiful shawl. So that's one thing that I'm particularly interested in as a judge, is seeing experimentation and seeing how you can apply traditional techniques to new fabrics and create these kind of new textures and new designs that are really, really interesting. So here, this is the bottom of a shirt, and we've kept the line of the bottom of the shirt, so that nice kind of shaping. And also we removed the pocket that was on the breast of the shirt and put it down here on the dress. So that's just a way that you can use the finished elements of an item of clothing. Likewise, if you're doing something with jeans, you can use the waistband and the whole finished section of the jeans to use it as a skirt. So that's a really nice thing you can do. So here we have some smaller accessories, and I'd like to emphasize that this competition is also not just open to for women's fashion, it's open for men's fashion as well. So we have some ties and some shirts. So really, like, I mean, you know, this is obviously could be worn by anybody, but there's some really nice features on this, and it's just done by appliquing. So it's reimagining a shirt and giving it a whole new look, just by kind of adding some design features onto it. So appliquing is a really nice technique that you can use to create new looks on an item of clothing. What else do we have to show you? So over here we have this amazing rain jacket. Moving into the center stage. This amazing rain jacket that you can all see what it was made from, hopefully. It's made from old IKEA bags that were actually ripped and no longer fit for use. So the fabric, the material from it was salvaged and used to create this beautiful raincoat, which is absolutely wearable and really functional as a raincoat. But it was really well designed, really nicely designed. So it has this flared sleeve kind of feature, and also some darting and some gathering here at the kind of underbust here, and some darting to give it a really nice shape. But it's very, very simply done as well. So it's just, you know, if you put a little bit of thought into things, you can really create some really nice effects. And then the last thing I think I will show you is this amazing denim dress. It was made from jeans. So by repurposing jeans. So this actual collar is a little bit separate. So this is a really nice accessory. Again, salvaged from jeans. The fabric is salvaged from jeans. And this trim that you see on it is actually a trim for curtains. So it's an upholstery trim. So yeah, hopefully the competition will kind of help you to look at your clothing in a different way and look at what's around you, and kind of you'll begin to say, oh, I could use that for that, or I could make that from that, or that kind of idea. So back to the dress. So this is a really good example because it's a mixture of, up here is kind of salvaged fabric that's been used as fabric, and there's a pattern has been put onto it. So and the pattern pieces have been cut from the fabric to create this shaping. But then likewise that's been done down here, but down here actually the elements of the jeans, so the finished elements, so like the waistband here has been used for the bottom edge of the skirt, and here the pockets have been incorporated. So it's a really nice example of mixing, salvaging the fabric and using it to create a piece using pattern, and also salvaging, like repurposing parts, finished elements of the clothing for your creation. I think that kind of is it. There was one last thing. So this was one of another skirt from denim. So there's just by adding on a different fabric, so mixing fabrics together can create a whole new look, and that can be really, really interesting. And this ruffle here is just created by gathering stitch. So that's a really nice way to kind of change the look of a piece of fabric, is to gather it and create ruffles. This one I wanted to show you is an example of that. So all these layers of ruffles have been added onto this dress, and it creates such a kind of design feature, basically. Yeah, so I think that is it. I don't know if there's any other questions from you guys. If there's anything I haven't covered and anything comes up for you as you're kind of undertaking creating your outfits, again, you can email us at info@rediscoverycentre.ie. Everything you need should be on the website, and hopefully if you've registered, we will be able to communicate with you about the 14th of October. I'm really looking forward to that. So it'll be myself and Aisling Duffy will be hosting that. So hopefully we'll see you there. If there's no other questions, we might leave it at that. If you know of anyone who is interested or thinking about it, I would say get them to register, and get them, if they haven't seen this information session, you could send on the link to them. We'll be sending it around afterwards. So yeah, I really look forward to seeing all your amazing creations. It's really inspiring and really affirming in the work that we're doing, because it's so great that you guys take part in the idea of sustainable fashion. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Bye.